Hey Yeezy World, I am back with another video. As you know, I'm always on the hunt for alternatives for, the big luxury brands. And you guys have shown me that you are as well. So I really enjoy showing you the research I've done and all of the fascinating options that are out there for you to consider. And these videos do take a little bit of time for me to compile and really think through what is to be included and what actually are reasonable dupes / alternatives. So the theme here is going to be quiet luxury pieces. And, that's more my style nowadays anyways. So I'm going to do research on pieces I like, which, just makes sense, right? And these are classic pieces that you can invest not a buttload of money into and really still enjoy it for years to come or even decades to come. So everything will be linked down below for your convenience, and I'll do price comparisons and whatnot. So let's get right into it. So the brands I'll be focusing on is going to be Celine, YSL, Hermes, as well as Bottega. Those are the kind of bags I really like. And Celine, I really do enjoy, and you've seen my collection. And of course, I'll link that video if you haven't seen so, my entire Celine collection. So there's gonna be a lot of Celine in here, so I really do hope you enjoy Celine as much as I do, but also want to consider some alternatives. But I'll start with Hermes since it's right in front of me. I promised a few of you that I will do a full-blown review on the story of how I got it here, and of course you've seen my Savette unboxing, so I won't spend too much time on it. But this is a really good dupe, as you can see here. That it's just the bigger version of it. There's a lot of similarities in terms of the aesthetics of it, even like the proportions of it, right? This is just a much bigger size. And this is going to be the Hermes picotin in the 18. Now, I know Hermes does release size 22. They don't make the bigger ones anymore, but I think if I find anything, I'll insert photos. But the picotin does come in larger sizes. And this one right now retails for, I think, around $300 or maybe $3,200 USD. And that's just a hefty price for a really, well-constructed bag. But at the end of the day, it's just a little mini tote, right? So if you don't want to, dish out that much money, this is a great option. Obviously, I got a really good deal on this in luck, but even at the retail price of $1,780, I think this is a good alternative if you want that look and you want something that's functional and it's a work bag. That could be a really good alternative. The other one I do want to mention I don't have is Songmong, where it's a lower price range at around $400-ish. And I think there's coupons that they run from time to time. I know that one's really popular, and a lot of people do compare it to the picotin as an alternative that you don't have to break the bank with. So that's the first category. The second one, I've talked about this a number of times as well, is going to be the APC, or as an alternative to the Celine classic box bag. That is a hot, quiet luxury item that everybody wants to add to their collection. And over the years, there has been a lot of dupes, right? So I found this one to be a really reasonably priced one compared to the Celine box bag. And I will be doing a year review on this relatively soon. And this is actually the first bag I reviewed on my channel. So you can look at that, but it's a terrible video. I don't know what I was doing, but I will be doing a 1 year review wear and tear on this particular bag. And this one I got for like about $300-ish. And I know the classic box bag from Celine is retailed at $4,200. And there are rumors that it's being discontinued, which I'm sad, but I'm also not sad because I don't have that in my collection. I never wanted to add that to my collection just because of how expensive it is for what it is. And considering there has been a lot of similar, in terms of aesthetic wise, there's a lot of dupes that are out there for a fraction of the cost. So this being one of them. The other one is going to be the Cezanne Milo bag at retailing about $470-ish. That has caught my eye, and I really do like how they have a lot of different options in terms of not just the smooth calfskin leather. They do have that blue snakeskin one that I've been eyeballing really hard and I really want it. So maybe that is something I will add to my collection. Another one is the Neos, if I'm saying that correctly, the Phoenix bag. It's same kind of aesthetic and construction, except that their logo is going to be just like a, you know, a little egg, right? Phoenix bag is, you know, I don't know, that makes sense, right? And I thought that was pretty cute. It looks pretty well constructed. I don't have one, especially if I'm eyeballing the Cezanne one, the Milo one in that gorgeous blue snakeskin leather. But if that's something you want to consider, I mean, it is only about not only, but it is ranging from about $460 to $600, depending on if you can find it on sale. Again, I'll link everything down below that I find that is on sale for you, for your convenience, for you to consider purchasing. But that's a big difference, right? $400 versus $4,200. Even if you get the classic box bag from like Fashionphile, it's still in like the $2,000-$3,000 range. Whereas you can find these for, you know, 10% of the actual retail price, that, you know, serves the same functionality. And it's like the quiet luxury, something that you can have in your collection for decades to come. It won't ever go out of fashion just because, you know, it's a classic structure where it's a square or maybe it's a rectangle. It's a classic flap where you can open it and close it. So it's not something that will ever go out of style. And I think it's definitely worth for you to consider and adding, you know, something like that to your collection without breaking the bank. The next one I want to cover is going to be Saint Laurent's LE5A7. I don't know how to say that name. It's like with a bunch of letters and random numbers that is incorporated. Maybe I'm just like super ignorant, but that particular shoulder bag is all the rage right now, as most shoulder bags are, shoulder like hobo-ish looking bags. And I think it was a really cute bag. I went to the YSL store and, you know, checked it out. Nothing like earth-shattering. It's got the YSL logo, and from what I've seen on the reviews out there, it has been very like not functional, so to speak, where the little YSL hook onto the bag to open and close the bag is not very easy to use from what I hear. And I did play around with it. It was not the best, right? If they made it like a magnetic enclosure, that might have made more sense. But I understand why they wanted to kind of be a little bit more unique in terms of the opening and closing of the bag. And I just see that wearing terribly with the YSL logo hooking over the strap. You know, there could be a lot more scuff marks with you trying to open and close it, or perhaps it might get stretched out because you're pulling on it. Another great alternative that you can consider has the very same similar aesthetics, and it is on sale right now. Ania Bing has the mini Chloe or the regular Chloe for around $200 to, you know, $350, because they are doing that 4 to 50% off. So if you want to test out and have that similar look, I think that's a great option. I haven't seen it in person yet, but I know that is quite the rage right now. So instead of spending, you know, thousands of dollars on the Saint Laurent one, this is a good alternative. The next one on my list here is going back to the Celine brand. And this is the Sango bag that has been discontinued, but I know for quiet luxury, if you're looking for a nice bucket bag, I would love to have this particular bucket bag in my collection. And I've looked at it over the years and I just never made the plunge because I don't really need another bucket bag, but it still has my attention. It retails for about $2,400. And the alternative that I do want to cover is going to be the ATP Atelier Pompeii. I'm totally butchering that, but I've been looking at this brand and it has piqued my attention. And I think they're a Swedish brand. So I'm looking more into it. I feel like that is a great alternative at about $600-ish compared to the Celine Sango bag, where it is a bucket bag with the shoulder strap as well as like the long crossbody strap. So that's a really good option. And I like how the curvature at the top is very unique. Another option would be Aline, if I'm again saying that correctly. It's an indie brand where a mom was looking for, I think the story was like the mom was looking for a more functional bag that is not like obscenely priced. She came out with her own bag brand where she started selling on Poshmark. I think it's a really good story, like a small business owner where she started on Poshmark and sold all of her bags. But it grew in popularity that she was able to start her own website and ship directly from, you know, her business to the consumers. And the Jordan bag is only at about $178. And I do like how she posts on Poshmark because that's where she started her business. So she has a endearing memory with them. So any imperfections for certain bags that don't fulfill their quality control, she actually sells them on Poshmark for, you know, $120-ish dollars. So something to think about, minor imperfections if you're not, you know, if you're just looking for a work bag or a throw around bag or a baby bag or whatever it is, it's a great option to test out the brand by purchasing it through Poshmark and her imperfection sale. But even at $178, I think that's a reasonable price for you to have a bucket bag that's very similar to the Celine single bag. And it feels like the quality is actually pretty great. Consider that she does have an imperfection sale. She values quality control relatively well. Again, I can't speak to the actual bag itself because I've never seen one, but based on the pictures, I think they look aesthetically great and it seems very functional, and it comes with a little pouch inside, so I do enjoy that attention to detail. Moving on to the Celine belt bag. As you guys know, this is one of my favorite bags to use, whether it's travel, whether it's just day to day. It's got such a unique design and it's not screaming with logos. But again, if you are into bags, you know kind of bag. This does retail for $24.50, and I think they are discontinuing this whole line of Phoebe Philo designs, which is making me really sad. But, you know, Phoebe's coming out, you know, in a couple months with her own line, so I'm excited to see that. But this belt bag is on its way out, but it's still pretty expensive at $24.50 or even $3,000 after taxes and whatnot. This is a hefty price to pay. So another alternative, again, I've been stalking the ATP Atelier Arezzo, or the model is Arezzo, but their brand itself, and they are very similar to this particular bag, except that it's got the little curvature on their front flap, which I thought was a pretty unique design. The biggest complaint that I hear about people using the Celine belt bag is that this opening is really hard to access. It doesn't bother me, but I can understand why people complain about it, is that this little hook here, you know, you've got to make sure it hooks on there so that it closes the flap completely. Whereas the ATP Arezzo bag is just a regular open closure, so it's much easier to access your bag, and it's got the same aesthetic when it comes to like the top handle and comes with a strap. So I think that's a really great alternative, and I've seen them on sale anywhere from like $250, $80 to about $400 on Farfetch. So that's another great one if you want something that is aesthetically the same thing as the Celine belt bag. I don't think, I'll have to double check, and of course I'll insert screenshots. It doesn't have the back pocket, which to me, this is super clutch because you can just put your phone in there. If you're traveling, you could put your passport here because then the back side of the purse is flush to your body and you won't be prone to losing the passport or losing or being, you know, pickpocket or whatever. So that's something to consider, but at around, you know, the $350-ish price range, I think is definitely worth considering. So that is the next brand. The last one I want to cover is the Bottega sardine bag. I actually really like that one, but it's kind of quite a luxury, but it's also not. It's a statement piece. And I think that one's a really cool one to add to your collection, and maybe someday I will. But the two alternatives I can suggest to you is the Kuana sculpted handle bag. It is now sold out. I put myself on the wait list. They came out with a blue one as well as black one. I don't know if they'll bring it back, but I did, again, put myself on the wait list. If it does come back for $328, I think it's a great deal to test out something that's more of a statement piece. Whereas the Bottega fish bag, I mean, I call it a fish bag, but it's called a sardine bag. I mean, that retails for $4,200. I mean, that's kind of insane. I don't think I would want to, as much as I like Bottega and how their pieces are classic, but the sardine bag is just, you know, it's a statement piece. It's probably not going to last for, you know, 50 years to come. And for $4,200, I just can't fork over that kind of money for a statement piece like that. So the Quiana, I feel like, is a great alternative. Hopefully they do bring it back. And for the other alternative, and this is something that my friend really likes, even though she doesn't have any cats, but she really likes the Lavan. Let's just have a moment of peace for me to continue butchering names and how to pronounce them. But the cat bag. The cat bag is a super cute statement piece bag, and it's got the little handle with the cat on there. So if you're a cat lover, I think it's a great option for you. And that usually does go on sale. I've seen it on Satire, I've seen it on Sense, where they do go on pretty deep discounts. And right now, I think the best price I've seen is about $1,100, which is still a pretty big price tag. Obviously, I would probably go with the Quiana one just because it's not as crazy looking, and you can probably use it for quite a long time. If you are interested in something that's a little bit more flair, more of a conversation starter, so to speak, that's a great one for $1,100. I know if you are interested, the Pinko one does come with the rabbits, again, for the year of the rabbit. I think they're still on sale, so that's another great piece to add, and I think they're only like $200-300, so it doesn't break the bank for something a little bit more fun, a little bit more festive that you can use without spending $4,200. So I really hope you enjoyed this little video and looking at all the different alternatives and all the research I've compiled for you. Check out another bag review here and whatever the YouTube algorithm thinks you'll like here. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and less than retail. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you next time.